Hey everybody, it's MarVeena, and I wanted to welcome you to my Angel Q&A. In this video today, I'm going over the throat chakra and how you can work with the Archangel Michael to better activate the throat center and clear any debris that might be lodged in your throat chakra. So the first thing that you want to do is to light a candle if you have one, like a little tea candle will work. And if you want to burn some incense, then that is a good way to help bring in the elementals and to send a signal out to the universe that we align ourselves with the light. And hi there. Hey, Cecilia, Laura. Hi, Parker. Well, be sure and create an intention of what your heart's desire is today in regards to your questions that you have and how you want the angels to work with you. And I feel like our angels have an absolute genius ability to be able to understand what the true important things are that you could best use to help you move forward. And a lot of times they can answer your questions through somebody else's readings. So ask your angels to sit with you. The first thing you want to do is write in the comments your name and where you're tuning in from. And this is a great way to establish a link to me and to this circle so that I can feel your energy, and to just hold it in your heart. What do I need to hear today that can help me to move forward on my soul's highest path, plan, and purpose? And just know in your heart that your own angels, they have your soul journey in mind. And in fact, you are their only business. So they do everything they can to bring to your awareness one way or another, whether it's in a circle like this, over the internet, or it might be in your dreams. They might bring you a message or answer to your questions. You might be talking to your child and all of a sudden you just have an epiphany of what you need to do. But just trust that your angels do everything they can to get your attention and to help you kind of have the breakthroughs that will best help you to move forward on your soul's higher path, plan, and purpose. Realize that the ego personality and all of the stuff that our ego personality might feel is important is not that relevant to your angels and how they can help you to move forward. So sometimes we really have to dial in on what is really relevant and what's really important, and separate out the things that the ego personality might be wanting and the things that our higher self is really wanting for us to acknowledge and to experience and to witness here in this lifetime. And it's quite often not the same. And I know it breaks a lot of bubbles, but it's a part of our self-mastery, and for us being able to really step up our game towards higher levels and higher degrees of self-mastery, that we realize what is an ego wish and desire and want or need, and what's truly something that is in line with our soul's higher journey. So today's business is about the throat chakra, and this is an amazing energy center. And whenever this center is really activated and aligned with our soul journey, we have a whole lot better ability to communicate and to also receive information from the Holy Spirit, from the higher master teachers, the higher angelic realm, as well as our own personal guides, teachers, and angels. And another gift is be able to receive communications from our spirit loved ones, because it is through the throat chakra that we're able to activate the gift of messages and mediumship and being able to receive impressions from the spirit world. So when our throat chakra is open, it is a huge blessing. Whenever it's closed, then we don't feel like we're in the loop. There's a lot of things that could block our throat chakra. Sometimes we may have witnessed things in other lifetimes that they sort of steal our voice, where we didn't feel comfortable about being able to speak our truth, or we might have been squelched in other lifetimes, where if we said what we really thought or what we wanted to say, then we might have been persecuted or even killed in those lifetimes. And if we weren't able to really process those hard karmic pieces of business and to kind of get perspective and gain some peace about those lifetimes, then it might carry over into this lifetime, where we feel like we have to sort of toe a line and we can't really say what we think because we might offend somebody, or we might put our position in the community or in the tribe, we might cause it to be in jeopardy, and maybe our family or ourselves will be threatened, or in some way that we'll lose our place in the tribe. So in order for us to really step up our game in self-mastery and align with our higher self, we have to face our fears. And whether that is a fear of being wrong, a fear of saying what we think, and our husband will decide that he doesn't want to be married to us anymore, or our children won't love us anymore if we speak our truth. We really have to dial in and stalk out what those fears are, and sort of face the music, so to speak. A good way for us to do that is to call upon the Archangel Michael to help put shields of protection around us, and to help us have the strength and the courage to face our fears and to be in a position to speak our personal truth from our heart. Anytime that we can say something to someone, that we can run it through the heart center, even if it might be something hard for them to hear, or it might hurt their feelings. If we are able to say that through our heart center and through a throat chakra that is cleared, then they will be able to receive it from their heart space, and they'll understand that this is truly something that I need to work with, or it's a piece of business that karmically I need to deal with it in some way. So asking, you don't have to have a special, like a prayer or invocation to work with the Archangel Michael. Just in your heart, just send out a prayer that he bless you with his presence, and that he surround you with the Michael angels, where we call them Michael lights, and that they would be around you and help you to do the healing work that needs to be done. The throat center is very, very powerful. And in the days of Atlantis, we really used our throat center not so much to communicate, because at that time we were highly evolved and we were able to communicate our ideas through telepathy, but we used our throat center as a healing tool. So it is very, very powerful. And every word that we speak has the potential power to heal, to inspire, to convey love, to convey opportunity, but it also has the power to curse, to hurt somebody. As a matter of fact, you all might not know it, but I used to be heavily involved in martial arts, in Taekwondo. And as I was working through my black belt tests and learning all about the different things that we needed to know, I studied about how we can use our voice, and particularly what they call the key off, which is the yell that you use whenever you get ready to strike an opponent. Is you do this yell. It's called a key off, and how in some of the Asian schools that this was developed to the degree that their key off could be as powerful as the strike, and sometimes even more powerful, and could cause death to anybody that heard that sound whenever it was, really highly charged and had a lot of intention behind it and highly activated. So it is wildly important that we understand the power of our throat center whenever it is in harmony and it's clear and there's not a lot of debris in it. It can have so much to offer in the terms of healing and encouragement and inspiration, but just realize that you can also do a lot of harm when you get a lot of charged emotion behind your voice, and the words that you're sending out might be ugly or mad or mean or ill-intended. So just be very mindful that every word that we speak has a ripple effect. And anytime that you catch yourself sending out a ugly word, like a curse word or something that you really didn't intend to say, then just take a minute to say, cancel, clear, delete, fill with love. I banish that ugly word out into the ethers, and I request that the angels replace any negative energy with healing thoughts and loving, kind energy. And that is just a good way to kind of make up for what you did. And even if you might have not really meant to be hurtful, it is still a good way to kind of atone for any negative energy that you sent out. And always realize that as we step up into our power and into our self-mastery, that everything that we do and say can have the ability to heal, or it can also have the ability to curse. So we just have to be particularly aware that as we grow towards more levels and higher levels of self-awareness and self-mastery, that we have to be more and more concerned with how we're running our energy and what sort of energy are we putting out into the world. The Archangel Michael is just a great way to continue to clear any like karma or anything that might be lodged in the throat chakra. Even in this lifetime, if people have tried to squelch your voice and say, MarVeena, you shouldn't sing, you don't sing very well, you don't really have a pretty voice, you should just keep your mouth shut, things like that. Or if you don't know what you're talking about, you should keep your mouth shut. So if you have had things like that have happened to you, then you want to do some backtracking into that time whenever people might have said those hurtful things to you, and just take some time to do some ceremony to call back any power that those people might have stole from you, and to call back any soul pieces that you might have lost or given away to that person because of the hurtful words that they said. What happens a lot of time is that when somebody says something like that, that we just, we doubt ourselves, and we doubt our own ability to discern and to think for ourselves. And we just think, well, maybe they know more than I do about this, or maybe for some reason they're smarter than I am on this subject, so I'll just take their word for it and I'll keep my mouth shut, that sort of thing. But we have to call back our power, call back our soul pieces, and just do some forgiveness work with whoever it was that might have said the nasty things. For instance, I forgive that person for the hurtful things that they said. I call back my power back into my own energy field, my own energy matrix. I call back any soul pieces that I might have lost to that person. And I bless them to go on to step into the highest aspects of themselves. And so that way you are calling back your own life force energy, because honestly, no other soul needs your life energy or your soul pieces. We have what we need to accomplish our soul's journey here in this lifetime. And a lot of times we feel like they might need it more than we do, or their special circumstances, but we can always send out blessings of energy without giving away our soul pieces or giving away our own life force energy. And it's more powerful that we do it that way. All right, so if you have questions about the Archangel Michael, just write them in the comments, and I'll see what sort of information that I can get. Anytime that you might have seen pictures of the Archangel Michael, you notice that he has a shield and a sword. And this is a way of symbolically of using that sword to separate out the truth of the matter from the fiction. And as we're willing to step up our game and really dial in on our soul path and activate our throat chakra to where it's not just tuned into the third dimension, but we're moving up into the fifth dimension, then the Archangel Michael symbolically will gift us with that shield and the sword, so that we can use the shield to protect ourselves from negativity, from people that might be jealous of us, or maybe they're hurting with their own, how they've been able to manage their energy and how they've manifested a life for themselves. And we can use that sword to separate out what's useful and anything that is not relevant or not of a higher truth. And he blesses that throat center so that it's like a beacon of love, and that anytime anybody listens to us, that they will understand the sincerity within our voice, and it will resonate in their own innermost being, and they'll know that they're hearing something that is a spiritual truth that can be meaningful for them and help them to move forward on their soul's path. So the Archangel Michael, you don't have to have any ceremony to connect or to do this. Just create the intention to let go of any debris or any entanglements. And when you just send that prayer out to the Archangel Michael, over the course of the next few weeks, you might have some unusual dreams. You might have just little awarenesses of people that might have hurt your feelings. And whatever it is that they said or did, that it was locked into the throat center. And there are some times where it might even be you that might have hurt somebody else's feelings on that center. And so you might need to ask that person to forgive you, and you might need to forgive yourself. And you can do that through prayer, ceremonies, through intention. You don't necessarily have to go find that person or call them and say, hey, I'm sorry, I said that you were a terrible singer or that you were a terrible storyteller. You can do that through a personal ceremony by just sitting down, calling your most holy guardian angel to sit with you, calling the most holy guardian angel of that person and just saying, hey, you know, I said something that was hurtful about your voice, and I just want you to know that where I was in that time. And you just have to dial into what sorts of painful places that you were at that caused you to put out that kind of negativity, and ask them to forgive you. And just send out a blessing that they let go of any pain that might be connected with that incident. And that way, it's like you've paid back a karmic debt, and then that portion of your throat chakra will now be cleared up. And so all of the petals that might have been tainted with that negative energy will be more clear, and you'll be able to use more of the throat center. There are 22 petals that are connected with our throat chakra. And there are, the color blue is what the throat center vibrates to. And as we're able to really purify the throat center, then it will have a lot of diamond white within that blue. So whenever this center is spinning properly and vibrantly, then if you were able to see it with your third eye, then it's a beautiful royal blue color. So the minerals and stones that are most associated with this would be like your sapphire, lapis lazuli. The turquoise are great stones to wear around your throat. They just help to kind of purify anything that is struggling in there, anything that needs to that you need to let go of. It kind of gives us the strength of conviction to face our fears, or to face whatever it is that we need to pay back, like whatever sorts of karmic things are lodged within the throat center. It takes a lot of guts to work our personal pieces, because a lot of times we have to face parts of ourselves that are not pretty and that have done some things that we are not proud of, or maybe said some things that we're not proud of. But honestly, if you just make up your mind that you're going to meet it head on, then your angels get behind you, and they really do become like a wind underneath of your wings. If you're willing to engage, they'll give you some ideas about how you can best go about that, and they will give you like a boost of energy and creativity to help you kind of move forward. If you're afraid to say what needs to be said, then you'll feel anxiety, you'll feel frustrated, you won't feel at peace with yourself. But a lot of times, if we have the ability to speak the unspeakable about what we're really feeling about a subject, or what our pain is, or what we feel like your pain point is, then, and we are able to do it through the heart center, then whoever it is that you're communicating with, that they will be able to receive that honestly as a gift, and they'll know, okay, this is something that I need to work with, or I need to make make adjustments on. But the color blue is the color to help you to really activate that. Anytime that you have an important presentation, or that you're meeting someone that you feel like that you have to rethink your contracts, or redo a contract, or your agreements, the color blue would be a powerful choice to help you communicate your feelings in a good way. And just the whole vibration of it supports you. Like a royal blue is going to be the best color there. Lucky stones would be the sapphire, the turquoise, the lapis. So those would all be really good ways. Another thing that you can do to help purify and activate the throat chakra is to do the chanting of the Om. The Om is one of the sacred names of the Holy Spirit. And so when we chant the Om, we're connecting with creation. We're connecting with the Holy Spirit, and we're aligning ourselves with the Holy Spirit. It is such a powerful chant. So I would suggest that you take, like 15 minutes a day, and find a quiet place to meditate and to chant the Om. And don't worry if it feels awkward, or if it feels like it doesn't flow very good, or your voice is making some terrible sounds, because it's natural for people, especially if you have things that are lodged in the heart chakra. It may take a while before you're able to really hold those tones, but it is very therapeutic on more levels than one. It is healing on a physical level, but also on a spiritual and an emotional level. And the room that you do your chanting in will become the best energy of your whole house. So never underestimate the power of the voice, and particularly the Om. So I would highly recommend that for those of you that really want to do what you can to improve this center, and really fully activate that center, to learn to chant the Om. And there's some things on Facebook that you can, or not on Facebook, but on YouTube, that they have, like the Tibetan monks that chant the Om. You can kind of use that to give you an idea about how to do it, but don't feel like because you don't know for sure what you're doing that you shouldn't try it all. It is such a powerful blessing. I highly recommend it. I have more information about meditations on my Angel Connection ebook. So for those of you that are not signed up with that, it's a free ebook, and I will put the link in the description box after my presentation today. But I have several meditations and activations that you can connect to in there, and it's free. So there are 22 petals on our throat chakra, and each one of them, it's kind of like a challenge, or a understanding, or a life lesson that we need to engage with to fully embrace all of the gifts and all of the beauty of the center. One of the things the angels wanted to remind me is that our whole body is a temple. And I know a lot of times they're like, what do the angels have to do with the chakras? Our angels are here to help us make the best of our whole entire soul journey and of our immersion into the physical, and in this circumstance, into the physical temple. And the chakras, everything in our body actually has something to do with helping us to activate our spiritual life here. And so the throat chakra is like a center of awareness, and it has these 22 petals, and they just reach out into our environment, and they discern energy, and they bring back things that are around us, negative energy, good energy, opportunities, healing energy, things for us to think about. But the 22 petals are, we have to like fully overcome that challenge or understand what that piece of business is about. And sometimes it's difficult to dial in on what the differences are. But as we're working towards a self-mastery plan, then we want to weave this into our journey. And so in this circumstance, we start at the top of the 22 petals rather than from the first one. So the 22nd petal is the ability for us to trust God. And I know for a lot of us that our ego really takes a hold, and our ego serves a purpose. It is a very important part of our journey here. But there's like a point of time where we want to kind of move from discerning with the ego to up into the higher aspect of ourself, to our higher self, and not be so concerned with what the ego thinks. So trusting God and trusting the Holy Spirit is the 22nd idea. The 21st is to trust ourselves. That is hard for a lot of people, including myself, but we really want to have it in our heart that we're an aspect of the divine. And I know for a lot of you, so hard to appreciate that we are creators in training. So because we are an aspect of the divine mind, we're a creator in training here just by our birth here. So we have to trust that we have the wherewithal to navigate this whole dimension in a beauty way. And so many times we buy into the illusion of other people's doubts and fears, and we take them on for our own. And that's whenever we get into trouble. The 20th petal is about being the light. And we want to do our best every day to spread light to other people, to be an inspiration and an encouragement. And that's how we're able to pull from that higher part of ourselves that is an aspect of the divine mind by us shining light on other people. Too many times we want to suck the light out of other people. And if you recognize that in yourself, then you have to put the brakes on that right now and determine that that we're going to be light. The 19th one is to be an inspired leader with integrity. And that is so important that we just make up our mind that we're going to negotiate our soul path from the highest place of integrity and of impeccability that we can. The next I did is to honor our magnificence. You know, for the most part, we are not really taught that we're magnificent. I don't think anybody ever said to me, "Oh, you're so magnificent." Well, my husband, when he was trying to woo me. But anyhow, you know what? A lot of times if people are not cheering us on and honoring our magnificence, we have to do that ourselves. And that requires that we have a high level of self-respect and self-love and self-worth, more important. We want to teach truths. And you know what? We have to teach the truths that resonate in our hearts. Quite often people get caught up into what other people have taught them is truth. But we have to teach what resonates, what's been a truth to us. We want to speak with integrity. That's a huge thing. Be open to the truth. There are times where we get caught up in one way of living and thinking and designing and running our energy. And someone might speak a truth to us that is a little bit different than what we thought. But it's like it'll resonate. We'll have something within our heart will tug towards that. And that's how we know. We want to speak up for ourselves. That is the 12th petal. The 13th one is to speak up for others. That was the 14th one, was to speak up for ourselves. Number 12 is to know who we are on a higher level. We're an aspect of creation. I am an aspect of the divine feminine, running the divine feminine codes, and the men, they're an aspect of the divine masculine. Number 11 is to accept your magnificence. The 10th I did is to do what you can to speak to empower others. The 9th petal is about telepathy. A lot of times we will know what other people are thinking, especially our children or our spouse, but we want to acknowledge that. The 8th I did is to speak the truth no matter what. You know, a lot of times we feel like if I tell them what I really think, they might get their feelings hurt. But we can speak our truth without being hateful or mean. The number 7 petal is to not tell lies. And the 6th I did is the fear of being misunderstood. Sometimes we really have to reach around for ideas to explain our truth or how we come to our idea of the truth. The 5th I did is to trust our inner voice. The 4th I did is to listen with our heart. The 3rd I did is the idea of refusing to listen. The 2nd I did is telling lies. And the first one is to lie to protect ourselves. And it's quite challenging whenever we think that if we say what we think, that we might be hurt for some reason, but it all goes back to facing our fears. So as we progress through all of these levels and engaging with these ideas and doing our best to really assimilate the differences in them, then we're able to move to higher levels of consciousness and awareness, and our throat center becomes more clear and therefore more powerful. So anyhow, I have more ideas about how you can connect to the angels and particularly Archangel Michael, and do ceremonies with him that can be helpful and meaningful to us. So hi, Misty. Hi, Rachel. Hello, Amanda. Hi, Laura. Well, so I had I have a question from Sandra that says her husband passed away recently. What do I do now? So, Sandra, I know this is such a hard time for you, and I just want to send out as much love as I can. But your angels want you to know that all stages of your life have relevance on your soul journey, and there are pieces of business at each of those times that we need to witness and really integrate. And I feel your husband really strongly with you right now, just wanting to be a blessing and be a support to you. I feel like a birthday is coming around, and that he's just wanting to send out a happy birthday to you. And I see the flag that makes me feel like he was very patriotic, and just wanting to acknowledge that part of himself. But he wants to just let you know that he tries to come to visit you while you're sleeping at night, so that he can help you to feel better and to just know that his spirit didn't end at the death of the body, but he still loves you and he hears you. So I just see some little animals there too. It looks like, I want to say like a little Yorkie or a small kind of a dog. So I don't know if that's in the spirit world or if it's in the living, but I just see like a little dog that is hanging around there. But just know that he is at peace on the other side, and not to feel bad for him, because that was like how the Holy Spirit helped him to design his soul journey. But let the family know that he loves them. Okay, Megan writes, I finally moved on from my ex-fiance, but I still have dreams about him. Megan, gosh, that is a great question. Yes, when we have important people that we're breaking away from, if we had other lifetimes where you were connected to him, especially if you had unfinished business with this spirit, then whenever we're moving away from them, we still might have that like a cord. So it's kind of like a etheric cord that ties him to you. And so it's like he's able to just like pick up a phone and have a pipeline into your energy field. So you want to really make sure that you have done all of your forgiveness work with this person, and that just be mindful of what your agreements were with him whenever you became his fiance and then you decided to break things off. We want to just kind of make sure that we're handling that from the best place of integrity that we can, and whatever misunderstandings were that happened, we want to do our forgiveness work, and just ask your angels to sit with you and help you to call back your power, call back your soul pieces that might still be with him, and send out any forgiveness that needs to happen. If things happen that hurt your feelings or hurt you physically or emotionally or mentally, it's important, I think, to forgive as best you can, which might be counterintuitive, but I feel like it will help you to kind of call back your life force energy to you. If it is a soulmate or a twin flame, then it's more difficult to separate those cords, but we want to just ask your angels to keep you shielded and to help you dial into the essence of whatever needs to be said to him or what you might need to do. That will help you to kind of get all of your life force energy back, and any power that you gave away to him, any soul pieces. He does not need your soul pieces. You need all of your soul pieces. Nobody else needs your soul pieces, only you. So we want to just make sure that we're clear on that. So I have a question from Jerry Lee. He's still waiting for his ex to come back, and I did 6 love spells, but there is a restraining order. So Jerry, if there's a restraining order against you, then that means that on some level you have really hurt this person and wounded them, hurt their feelings, or scared them. So it's going to take a lot for you to clean up the mess that you made. And you can do that through prayers, through ceremonies. Let me get myself a drink here. First of all, I would just create an intention to be able to clear the air between you and her, and to make up for any pain that you caused her, either knowingly or unknowingly. And it takes a lot of ceremony and prayers sent out on a regular basis. Just ask your angels and your highest guardian angel to connect to her highest guardian angel, and do what you can to obtain forgiveness from her. And you will know whenever you've been able to obtain forgiveness, because the energy will just shift, and it won't feel as intense. It won't feel as much of a charge on the energy there. But honestly, I would not buy any more love spells, because they're not going to work, for one reason. And for another reason is that whenever you're buying a love spell, you're attempting to manipulate her, and that is never going to get you a good result. Even if it got some sort of a result and she came back, it wouldn't be because she wanted to be there, that she truly loved being with you. It would be because her energy was manipulated. So you never want to buy any sort of spell that manipulates anybody or tries to do something, send out energy that to get somebody to do something that's not their idea or against their will. What you can do is affirmations. That an affirmation is a kind of a form of a love spell without incurring the karma. So it is it's using our voice center and sending out the ideas. For instance, I am from love, and I send out love. I receive love, and I send out love. I'm surrounded by loving and kind people. I find joy in all stages of life. All things good come to me. I am surrounded by opportunities at all times. There are so many ways that you can influence in a positive way, either this person or someone that is more in vibrational harmony with you. But anytime that there's a restraining order, you know that the universe is saying you've got some business to take care of, and to a pretty high degree. So you want to face the music and take care of your business. Because if you don't, it will escalate, and you won't be able to reap the benefits of a loving relationship with her or with anybody else. Because if you were to connect with the way you're currently running your energy to another lady, then the chances are really high that you're going to mess that one up too. So you want to engage with your anger or with your fear of being rejected or fear of being alone. And just do some prayer work. Ask your angels to help you understand yourself and why, what you're worried about, being left behind or passed over for somebody else, and let them help you. Your own angels, even if you don't feel angelic or feel worthy of connecting to the angels, you are their only job. And so they will be there. All you have to do is simply think, angels, be with me. Help me to understand my options right now. Give me some insight on how I can make things right or better. It may not be in this lifetime that you're able to obtain forgiveness from this person, but you want to do the best that you can to engage with that. All right, so Valerie writes in, can you help me connect to my angels to get my baby boy back from the state? So Valerie, when I connect with the angels on that, there's a lot of kind of making up for readjusting your energy and how you've run your energy in the past, so that you can demonstrate a whole different level of integrity and impeccability, and especially willingness to be responsible, not just for like right now, but how you ran your energy in the past. So you're also going to have to do some forgiveness for some of, maybe even forgiving yourself or asking others for forgiveness for how you disappointed them in the past. But ask your own angel team to sit with you and help you dial in on what needs to be done. And I would also communicate just in your mind, send out to the mind of your baby, your love, your intention to, from now on, to be a blessing, to be where this baby needs you to be. So there's a lot of things that need to happen, but it can happen, but you're going to have to be willing to be responsible and really turn your life into a different direction and a different way of dealing with disappointments, with dealing with day-to-day things. There's a whole lot that needs to happen, but it's doable, but it is definitely a challenge. But I really feel like the angels are helping you to do what they can. So just pace yourself and make up your mind that of what's really important, and doing whatever is necessary, whatever hoops that you have to jump through, figure out how you can make that happen, whatever skill sets you need to learn to jump through those hoops, and the angels will help you. As long as your intentions are pure and your intentions are good, then they will help you out. So have another question. Courtney Ruiz asks, I would love to hear from my twin daughters in spirit. So Courtney, I feel like your little babies are just, they're very old souls, very high vibrational old souls. And they, what they say is they're pretty in pink, that they like the beautiful pink I want to see like the little baby clothes, and they especially love their pink candles that you set out for them as a kind of like a little tribute to them, that they very much love that, and their little brothers or their big brothers. So they are, they're kind of like little angels around the family. Those little souls didn't need to stay in this dimension for a very long time. The time that they had in your womb and coming into this dimension for the very short time that they were here, that was what their soul needed. I know that's very hard to appreciate from a mama's point of view, but just do your best to understand that they have life. It's just focused in the higher planes of their realities, but they do have life, and it's good. It's just not focused in a physical body. So because we are focused in the physical body, we just kind of get it on our mind that that's the best. This is the best place to be. This is an awesome place to be, and we really wanted to be here, but it's not the only place. So anyhow, they're just pulling back their energy and wanting us to know it's time to close our circle. I want to thank you all for participating. And if I didn't get to answer your question today, just know in your heart that your own angels will move heaven and earth to answer your questions if you will set aside some time to sit with them. They will do the best they can to kind of give you a heads up on what's important for you right now. So just trust that, and be sure and sign up for my Angel Connection ebook. It's free. I'll put the link up here in the descriptions, but it's a great tool that can help you to create a better connection with your own angels. So thank you all for hopping on today. I love seeing everybody. Have a powerful day, and I will talk to you all later. Thank you. Bye-bye.